is Jessica over at the Scott County Public Library with another edition of Bookends. And today we have a special guest. She's our guest reviewer, and her name is Molly. She's a retired service dog from the United States Armed Forces, and we're very glad to have her here. She's a Belgian Malinois, and she spent some time in Iraq doing bomb sniffing. So she's very smart. And she'd like to, now since she's retired, she's got a lot of time on her hands, so she would like to review some books. And we thought we'd give her a try. So what do you say, Molly? You gonna help us out here? Okay, I'm gonna read you a little synopsis, Molly. Come here. Good girl. I'm gonna read you a little synopsis, and then you can tell me whether you like it or not, okay? All right, our first book is called The Traveling Cat Chronicles. What do you think of that? She's losing interest already. Okay, this was one of my favorite books that I read this time. It's called The Traveling Cat Chronicles. It's by Hiro Arikawa. And it's about Nana, a cat, who goes along with his human, Satoru, on a journey across Japan in a silver van, the purpose of which is supposedly to find Nana a new home. Each of Satoru's 3 best childhood friends is visited in order to see if Nana would be a good fit for their household. And along the way, the reader gains insight as Nana learns about the world, life, love, and family. And I thought this was just a wonderful book. It's told from the cat's point of view. So let's see what Molly feels about it. Molly, come here. Come here. Tell me, do you like this book? Do you like it? You want me to try a different one? Okay, she says she wants me to try a different one, so I'll go for a different one. I know she's gonna love this one. This one is The Dog I Loved by Susan Wilson. This was another really good story. Convicted of manslaughter for the accidental killing of her abusive boyfriend, Rose Collins has spent her years in prison training therapy dogs for veterans. Suddenly released when her conviction is overturned, she finds that an anonymous benefactor has arranged a job for her in a small New England town. And at the same time, Megan Custer, a wounded veteran, had her outlook changed when a therapy dog named Sharp, trained by Rose, entered her life. So giving up the dog that she trained in prison was one of the most difficult things Rose had ever had to do. Megan has become a trusted friend, but will any other dog ever take Sharp's place in her life? And can she ever reconcile with her estranged family? So I know you're gonna like this one, Molly. What do you say? Come here. Molly, you gotta give me your opinion. Come on, give me your opinion on this. What do you think? Is this a good one? Is that a good one? Yes, she likes it. I think she likes it. Okie dokie. I love this one. If you like Alexander McCall Smith, you will like The Department of Sensitive Crimes. It's kind of a lighthearted take on noir detective stories. Alexander McCall Smith calls this his Detective Blanc stories because they're a little bit more lighthearted. And in this book, we meet Ulf Varg, a Swedish detective in the Department of Sensitive Crimes, which is an obscure branch of the police department, whose name means wolf wolf. Beset with police bureaucracy, secretly in love with his co-worker Anna, and troubled by the depression exhibited by his lip-reading dog Martin, Ulf has a full caseload of fascinating twists to his storyline. Full of eccentric characters and unusual events, you will enjoy the ride in Ulf's Silver Sob and be cured, like Martin the dog, of any depression you may have had before starting this novel. So, come here. Give me your opinion on this one. Is this a good one? Is this a good one, Molly? Oh, she's unsure about this one. But I assure you, this is a very good book. All right, another cat story. The Cat Who Saved Books. This is a brand new one by Sasuke Natsukawa. It's about a high school student named Rintaro Natsuki. has been left as sole proprietor of his late grandfather's used bookstore. And raised by the old man to love books, Rintaro has always felt safe and secure inside the bookshop and is feeling depressed about having to shut it down in order to move far away with an aunt that he barely knows. What do you think so far? Enter a magical talking tabby cat who enlists Rintaro's help in order to save books. Rintaro and his school friend Sayo join the tabby as they traverse different magical labyrinths to confront the horrors of book hoarding, the terrifying over-editing of condensed books, and joyless speed reading, and the poor quality writing and content of mass-marketed self-help books. Within the labyrinths, Rintaro needs to learn to come out of his shell and to interact with people as well as with literature. What do you think, Molly? I think she's going to pass on this one. But I assure you, this is an awesome book. It's brand new, so you'll find this on the new release shelf. All right, The Dog Master, another really good one by W. Bruce Cameron. This is the guy that brought you A Dog's Purpose. And it's an imaginative novel describing the domestication of the first dog 30,000 years ago. And this one kind of reminds me of Clan of the Cave Bear. It's about a man who's been ostracized by his community, and he takes on the care of a wolf puppy whose mother's been killed by a bear. And together they learn to survive, and that wolf puppy becomes the first dog. What do you think, Molly? What do you think? Yeah? Is that a good book? I thought it was an excellent book. All right, this one is a nonfiction book, actually. This is actually a true story, and it was written by the guy that it happened to. But it reads very much like a novel, so I wanted to include it. It's A Street Cat Named Bob and How He Saved My Life by James Bowen. In this memoir, and again, it reads very much like a novel, so I think that you'll really like it. A young man in London finds reason to turn his back on drugs when he adopts an injured stray cat and nurses him back to health. Bob the cat then joins James in his act as a street musician, and then later joins him selling magazines. Having to care for a pet gives James the necessary push towards a responsible and healthy lifestyle. And it's just a wonderful, heartwarming book. I really recommend it. Molly, what do you think? What do you think? Cats? Yes? She's unsure about this one, but I really liked it. All right, here's another good dog book. Hounded by David Rosenfeld. I just love these Andy Carpenter mysteries. They're very lighthearted. You've got some suspense in there, but they always involve dogs. So Andy Carpenter is a wealthy lawyer who really wants to retire and enjoy life with his girlfriend, Lori, and his beloved golden retriever, Tara. However, he can't resist taking cases that involve dogs, and his friend, Police Lieutenant Pete Stanton, especially requests his help on this one. Ex-con Danny Diaz has been murdered, and his 8-year-old son, Ricky, and Ricky's basset hound, Sebastian, were the only witnesses. Pete has taken Danny Diaz under his wing and helped him to turn his life around, so Pete asks Andy and Lori to not only take care of Sebastian, but also Ricky while he's investigating the murder. So I guess it's going to be a while before Andy Carpenter gets to retire because he takes on this case, and you'll have to read it to find out what happens. What do you think, Molly? Is this a good one? Is this a good one? I think she likes this one. All right, for our last book, we've got a whole series of these, the Cat Who books by Lillian Jackson Braun. I really love them. I read a lot of them many years ago, and I'm rereading them now because they're just fun, good books. This one is called The Cat Who Went Bananas by Lillian Jackson Braun. And it's about a wealthy retired philanthropist named Jim Quillerin, and he writes a popular column for a small town local pickaxe paper and takes care of his 2 Siamese cats, Coco and Yum Yum. and his life is full of lunch dates with eccentric small-town characters that usually involve a lot of local gossip. Did I mention there's always a mystery and that Coco and Yum Yum can usually tell who the culprit is? So, what do you think, Molly? You want to read this one about the Siamese cats? Come here, Molly. Come here. Do you want to read this one? She says no, but I highly recommend it. So come on down to the Scott County Public Library in Georgetown, Kentucky, and check out one or more of these books, and you'll be glad you did. And we'll see you next time. Bye.